Welcome to Motorsports International, back at the shop here. My name is Rich. I'm going to cover a subject today that a lot of people don't pay a lot of attention to. Brake hoses and also clutch hoses, which are the same thing. If you look on the hose, you'll see a writing that says J1401. That's actually a rating from the Society of Automotive Engineers. Road vehicle hydraulic hose assemblies for use with non-petroleum based hydraulic fluids. That's the DOT4 fluid that you use. If you look in your maintenance, this is a typical maintenance schedule for a motorcycle, ATV, side by side. It's all the same. Scooters. You'll see here something that no one pays attention to. Clutch hose. This is a Hayabusa, by the way. Clutch hose, replaced every 4 years. Why is that? Also, these clutch hose and brake hose are the same thing. You'll have brake hose replaced every 4 years. No one pays attention to. What's the reason for that? They actually date these hoses. You'll see, if you read on them, you'll see a date like 2020. That's the date of manufacture. So if you got a 20, if it's 4 years, you should change it. What happens to them is they get weak, and when you squeeze the brake, they balloon out. Instead of applying all the force to the brake caliper, they'll balloon out and it'll feel mushy. Of course, a lot of people, if they're going to replace their brake hoses or brake hoses or clutch hoses, they go to stainless steel braided lines, which do not balloon, and also they'll probably last the lifetime of your motorcycle, the economic lifetime of your motorcycle, ATV, side by side. Although a lot of side by sides do use metal lines like cars. So there's one thing you need to know is, and it's very surprising, and you're not going to find this on the internet, is you may have a 2023 motorcycle and you look at your hoses and they say 2020, 2019, you can still treat them as new hoses actually, because for reasons everybody probably suspects, they probably produced more hoses than they needed for the motorcycles produced. So you may have a 22 motorcycle with a 2019 hose. That's actually not uncommon. But the hose is still new, you can still treat it as new. One little tip I'd like to give you about squishy brakes. So sometimes the people have squishy brakes. Squishy, I mean you squeeze the lever or the pedal and it goes down too far. So a lot of times bleeding will take care of that. Sometimes it won't, is it because you need to rebuild the master cylinder or the caliper. And of course check your hoses for cracks. These hoses being rubber, they're affected by the sunlight, they're affected by ground level ozone. Same thing as tires. They can crack and they can actually leak. If you have a very soft system, not from ballooning lines, but just very soft to the bar, you bled it, everything, and it's still not right, you can take hemostat pliers. These are called hemostat pliers, or hemostat type pliers. You can squeeze the hose, clamp it down, and if your lever goes to the bar again, you have a master cylinder problem. You need to rebuild the master. If it gets solid as all heck, like this one right here, and you take this off and it's squishy, you most likely have a problem with your calipers. You need to rebuild your calipers. So there's some quick tips about your brake system.